Well, I'll tell you what I think. First and foremost, I think the Penta fans, based on a previous video, might have had some effigies or voodoo dolls they were sticking in my lower spine. And thank you again, because if I go back in the hospital, Black Widow, James, it's you and the fans' fault. I will blame the fans like a true heel. So here we go. And I think the start, by the way, Penta versus Rey Mysterio, 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble, loved it. Loved it. We got a taste of what it might be like to have these two guys wrestle each other. Now, I feel like they were kind of rushing because it wasn't going to be their focus entirely. They had the first however many minutes until number 3 came out. But I love what WWE was trying to do and the fact that Penta continues to have what would be considered, even though I don't agree with the 50-50 booking his first 3 matches on Raw. This here is a great way. And dare I say it, what if Penta debuted at the Rumble after vignettes and stuff like that, and we got to see him and Ray right off the bat? That would have been cool. But
Yeah.
this wouldn't have been a great first
Did you think?
impression, though. Like your feet touching the floor.
Well, I was going to say the Royal Rumble. I mean, can you think of any other Royal Rumble that started with so many botches? Because there was Rey Mysterio who just fell off the top rope, completely, unaided, nothing to do with Penta. And then when Chad Gable got in, I can't remember who did like a massive moonsault on them, or I can't remember what it was. But instead of landing on his body, they landed flush on his knees.
I see. This is the thing. You already forget these moments, and somebody could get really hurt, and they're not really that memorable. So,
Yeah, he was down for a couple of minutes. But anyway, I'm sorry. So the Penta elimination or not elimination, according to you?
what do you think?
Yes, he was eliminated.
He did a little
So it was
toe
obvious.
tap, but you can see that toe make contact, and that boot folds a little bit right there. He was eliminated. This is a dangerous thing no matter what. And they actually, I'll say this too, as the match goes on, I wonder how many accidental eliminations for somebody that spends time going in. You know what I mean? You get tired and you're expected to skin the cat or to tease going out or, Logan Paul did the Kofi spot on the table and jumping off. And that timing was weird with AJ. Like that was kind of what went wrong in itself because it looked like AJ was waiting to get eliminated by Logan Paul instead of coming back to it or doing. If I was Logan Paul, I would have grabbed the headset and started commentating from there and had somebody jump out and start fighting on the table with me. It would have been pretty cool. Too, that LA Knight would have been good, even though there's a whole bunch of heat with that. Your Drew McIntyre video talks about that. I'm going off a little bit, but it would have been great if he did that. LA Knight ended up on the table, they both grabbed headsets and started fighting on the table, and eliminated both each other off the table. But get back to Penta. I'm trying to avoid it because I don't want to get any more heat. Let's go slow over right there.
There have actually been like accidental eliminations, and they've called it them as. I'm sure one of them was like Kofi Kingston, where it just didn't work out for whatever he was doing, and they just went, "Well, you're out. See ya." And then they just sort of just got over it. But he's done so many spectacular eliminations, I can't remember which one was which. But they've done a couple where they were trying to be a bit too cute, a bit too elaborate. And then there was also Mil Mascaras, who's still in the Royal Rumble from '97.
You got to tell me about this. He did not go out voluntarily. He has never been eliminated. That's right.
He's never been eliminated. No. He went through the middle rope and then climbed on the top rope to do a dive onto the floor. And the referees called it like he was eliminated, and he wasn't.
So Mil Mascaras is owed a WrestleMania title match. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He can still suck his gut in. Get him back out there, WrestleMania 40, whatever it is.
Do you remember the match he had with Mick Foley when he was Cactus Jack? That was an odd match. Was that a Clash of Champions, I believe, or Slamboree?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was like on one of the Texas border towns or something like that. But then
Corpus Christi,
I think the story
Corpus
is
Christi, Texas, I believe.
Yeah, Kevin Sullivan came up with the finish where obviously Cactus would be losing, And then they said, well, why don't you go and brawl with the band? Because they had a house band
Oh, the guy looked like
at
Van
that show
Hammer,
as well.
right? The big line. It was
Yeah, yeah.
was it Tyler Mane or somebody else? The guy who played.
Oh, I don't know.
It was
I can't remember his name.
was a pro.
He was a big dude.
He was a big dude with blonde hair, reminding you of a mix between Van Hammer and Tyler Mane from the X-Men movies, but he was UW or Herb Abrams UWF gets another mention. Tyler Mane was featured on UWF, but then he was more famously Sabretooth, and he came back in Deadpool and Wolverine and played Sabretooth.